In his book, The Body Keeps the Score, by Bessel van der Kolk, he says, erasing awareness and cultivating denial are often essential to survival, but the price is that you lose track of who you are, of what you are feeling, and of what and whom you can trust. He also says, you cannot select pain over pleasure. When you turn one of them off, you will not feel either. Welcome, my friend, to Defining Moments. This is Jennifer Packham. If you've ever had a defining moment that shattered you, leaving you to piece together meaning from chaos, redefining everything, these vlogs are for you. In them, I share raw journal excerpts from my life-altering defining moments and the wisdom I've gained from them. It's my hope they bring you renewed possibilities, clarity, and faith in your toughest moments. This is vlog episode 30. It's now the year 2002 in my story. Daily life continued on, pretending to be normal. There were bright moments, yes, but far too many dark ones. My children were such a joy and a comfort to me, like rays of sunshine in my numb heart. One time, my husband woke me in the middle of the night to explain how he wanted a quick divorce. He said he would give me everything and didn't want custody of the kids. He would go somewhere only he knew about. I knew, somehow, I just knew it wasn't the right thing to do. So I convinced him not to do it, even though everything in my soul was screaming out that it would be better for him to go. This happened twice this same year. I certainly had been staring into the abyss of abnormality far too long. My view of reality had been skewed. My emotional health was compromised and would be for far too long. The abnormal had become accepted as normal. My life had been changed, and I allowed it to be so. What I thought was faith had simply become a consent of the distressing position I had somehow grown accustomed to. My oldest son's emotional health was massively affected by his father and the medications to help him. He was just 8, almost 9 years old at this time in 2002 in my story. I have come to learn that fathers' innate ability is to prepare kids for life. They provide and protect, and my son certainly did not feel protected by his father. Rather, he had to be constantly protected from him. Deep down, I knew this, but I decided to persevere and endure. I know now I was wrong. Things weren't always a level 10 in emotional instability in our home, but there was certainly a 7+ level of be careful, don't be too loud, or listen or else, or don't make dad mad. We were all walking on eggshells all of the time. My kids grew up with a certain awareness of their actions, or their actions being pointed out to them if they weren't aware at any given moment. My oldest son especially struggled to comply because his multifaceted brain that I could only begin to understand. He was fighting a war no child should ever know, and the complex PTSD which began before he was even born was showing up as extreme ADHD. I tried to understand him. I have no doubt he was sent to me on purpose, perhaps to be a mirror for what was really happening in our family because of his dad's influence. If this son hadn't been my child, I may never have seen the devastation his dad caused, not only to me, but to all my kids. This son and I were bonded together in a way I cannot begin to describe. He has helped me in the trajectory of my life just by being who he is. He was a constant struggle, but without him, oh my, where would my kids and I be? This son had a way of bringing out the worst in his dad. But if he hadn't, I may have completely lost myself in the situation, and I believe another child would have certainly been the brunt of their father's anger and contention. I wouldn't be at all surprised if this son made a promise to his siblings before he even came to this earth to live in this way, to take the abuse away from them with ADHD in a family with a father that would torment him and take out his frustrations on him instead of them. I see this clearly now, and knowing my son's great spiritual capacity, it is very obvious to me that this is true. My heart can only praise this son for his strength and spirit. In July that year of 2002, I was the camp director for my ward. It was a wonderful experience to go to camp where I had gone as a young woman and where my mom was always so much fun and beloved by everyone who knew her for her outgoing and fun personality. Being there had me remembering her and missing her desperately. But going off by myself to cry and feel was so healing for me. At the time, I thought it was not such a good thing to release negative feelings like that. I always thought there was something wrong with me. I felt the pain I did allow myself to feel would be never ending, so why would I feel it? But it oozed out in all sorts of random ways anyway. In a song, a memory, a smell, a place, an echo in my heart that I heard so loudly at times it couldn't be denied. These emotions that are not felt work their way up to the surface and out at every opportunity. Remember, emotion is energy in motion, and it is impossible to keep emotions silenced forever. Girls' Camp was and always will be a healing place. Looking back, I'm so grateful for that opportunity. In my journal, July 23rd of 2002, I wrote, I wish I could explain how it feels to try to talk with my husband when he's in this state, for lack of a better word. Unreasonable, hard-headed, and extremely stubborn, perseverating, selfish, inability to understand or really hear or even care what someone else is saying or feeling. So many other things, but these are just words and thoughts. Real life is different. Real life is every emotion ever felt every day. Such a kaleidoscope of feelings and thoughts, no wonder I felt numb, tired, angry, and old. It's so difficult to explain how I always wanted to believe my husband was logical, capable, reasonable, to hope beyond hope that he would heal somehow, that some magical day it would all go back to normal and the nightmare would end. But then to realize over and over that he wasn't logical, capable, or reasonable, that he would never be. I don't understand why I couldn't just look at him and think, you're disabled and need to go somewhere else. But I just couldn't. I should have, but I couldn't. Living in that kind of stress day to day was slowly killing me, literally. In another journal entry on August 5th, 2002, I wrote, I've got an appointment with my doctor. The last couple of days, I felt really sick, nauseous, not hungry, and completely tired. I feel fatigue with hot flashes and even diarrhea. The past 5 months here in my journals, I've written in every entry that I'm tired, numb, angry, unhappy, emotionally tired, unmotivated, empty, and unfeeling. Today, I truly felt better, but after reading this, I don't. It's all there, just under the surface, all the time. But what is there to do? I guess I just feel like there's no way for things to get any better. Have I lost my faith? In a talk someone gave once about despair, and how if you're feeling despair, you're probably doing something wrong. I remember thinking to myself how I felt despair every day, and I truly didn't believe I was doing anything wrong. But in the scriptures, in Moroni 10:22, it says, And if ye have no hope, ye must needs be in despair, and despair cometh because of iniquity. Looking back now, I know that God didn't expect me to continue the situation I was in. It wasn't my problem to solve, but I wouldn't let go of it. I simply didn't know how to quit. My body was slowly rebelling, trying to get me to see that I needed attention. I was experiencing fatty tumor lumps in various parts of my body, which were a symptom of the emotional hell I allowed myself to be in. My body encapsulated the daily emotional traumas and locked them away in my arms, in my back, and other areas. These toxins my body contained, so they could be dealt with in the future when I was safe. Still, I wouldn't give up. In another journal entry, on December 16th, 2002, I wrote, I'm feeling more and more sick and tired of it all, especially when he says he's just going to leave and I will never see him again. How is that supposed to make me feel? Certainly not like he truly loves me. It only makes me feel like he wants out. Of what? I'm not entirely sure. Our family? Me? Life? I don't know. But I'm so tired of feeling tired, and I'm tired of wondering why we can't all just be happy. What is all this about? What are we supposed to learn from all this? There must be a reason greater than this. At least that's what I've always thought, but now I'm just tired of trying, tired of wondering, tired of all the confusion and unhappiness. In a talk by Sister Reeves in 2013, in a General Relief Society conference, she said, My dear sisters, the Lord allows us to be tried and tested, sometimes to our maximum capacity. We have seen the lives of our loved ones, and maybe our own, figuratively burned to the ground, and have wondered why a loving and caring Heavenly Father would allow such things to happen. But He does not leave us in the ashes. He stands with open arms, eagerly inviting us to come to Him. He is building our lives into magnificent temples where His Spirit can dwell eternally. Finally, in 2 Corinthians 1, verses 8 through 10, it says, "For we would not, brethren, have you ignorant of our trouble, which came to us in Asia, that we were pressed out of measure, above strength, insomuch that we despaired even of life. But we had the sentence of death in ourselves, that we should not trust in ourselves, but in God, which raiseth the dead, who delivered us from so great a death, and doth deliver, in whom we trust that He will yet deliver us." God delivers us. He will deliver me, and He will deliver you. Until then, keep on, keep it on with God.